To see her train, really train, is a masterclass in focus and determination. 3 years ago, Flora Duffy from our tiny island was literally the best in the world. A gold medal in women's triathlon at the Tokyo Olympics. So, after Tokyo, were you instantly thinking about doing it again?
No, absolutely not. I was not thinking about going back to defend in Paris.
Yet, here she is, sometimes along with other Bermudians, training as hard as ever in Boulder, Colorado to chase gold once again at her record-tying 5th Olympics.
At the end of the day, I really love it and I enjoy it, and I also know that Paris is my final Olympics and I have this cool opportunity to go there and be the defending Olympic champion.
Even at 36, ancient for an Olympic triathlete, Flora couldn't bring herself to walk away from the sport. Up until recently, she could barely run. Her right knee was a disaster.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, a year ago, I was not training much at all and my knee wasn't making any progress.
Her massage therapist thought it might be time to surrender.
And he's like, you know what? If this doesn't turn around by February of next year, so February of 2024, he's like, I really think you need to call it. You've tried everything, you've accomplished everything, but this just might be it. That was really emotional moment for me, but it also just showed the people I have around me, how much they care for me. It's making me emotional now.
This was Flora's homecoming after Olympic gold in Tokyo, celebrated as Bermuda's first ever Olympic gold medalist. The only Bermudian to have a gold medal.
Yeah.
And Bermuda's the smallest country in the world to have a gold medal at the Summer Olympics.
Yeah,
you did that.
Yeah, it's really special.
Your face is on buildings, it's on bottles of rum. There's streets named after you, there's stadiums named after you, there's pools named after you. What does that feel like?
It's amazing. It is incredible, and I am just so honored and overwhelmed by the reaction that everyone has had. I think for me, because I'm a bit of an introvert, it can definitely be overwhelming at times, and I think, oh my gosh, that's really for me? But it's cool.
She had time to high-five half the crowd.
When Flora raced on home soil and won, it was a national sensation. In the presence of every Bermudian, the pride was unmistakable. On the faces of Bermuda's children, it's inspiration, especially as they compete in Iron Kids, the same race she did back in the 90s.
I was a very ambitious 7-year-old girl. I can actually have memories of maybe not quite at 7, but maybe closer to 10, being yeah, I want to be a world champion, an Olympian, Olympic medalist one day. And I mean, that's just kind of kids say crazy things, right? And then for all of that to have come true is kind of crazy when I think back on it. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, look at that.
I know. That's pretty heavy.
Flora's Olympic gold medal,
I know, they put it on you and you're like, whoa.
has ordained her with a stardom that stretches far beyond Bermuda. Right after winning Olympic gold, her name was a trending search term on Google worldwide. In Switzerland and New Zealand, she was trending number 1.
And this is one of the main walking paths. So I'd be sitting out here and they'd be like, hey champ.
That's so cool.
Hey Flora, well done, awesome. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, how do you know me? But it's really cool.
I'm remembering for the first time too that after you won in Tokyo, some of my friends who know I'm from Bermuda would say, oh, I saw on TV that a woman from Bermuda won in triathlon. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I know her. I could send them a picture. They thought it was the coolest thing that I knew you because you won a gold medal.
Really? Yeah. Wow, yeah. See?
So, it's the same way.
By association even. It's just, it's amazing like that, Olympics.
Now she's training to be champ for the second time versus very stiff competition. One opponent is her own aging. When career accomplishments are this long, it's a lot of miles on the body. A Swiss study says 26 is the optimal age for a female Olympic distance triathlete. Flora is heading into Paris with the ambition of a woman 10 years younger.
I mean, yeah, it's to win a medal. That's my ambition. Whether I can get myself to that shape in these final weeks that I have, I don't know. But we're doing all that we can with my training to get me there.
Since rehabbing the knee and training on a compressed calendar, Flora started 2 elite international races this year, Japan and Italy. Unexpectedly, she finished top 10 in both, not far off the lead. The world was put on notice.
It gave me a lot of hope, and it also gave my coaching team a lot of hope.
3 years ago in Tokyo, Flora blew away the competition, the largest margin of victory in women's Olympic triathlon history. This time, it's a step to the start line in what will be the twilight of her career.
I mean, I went to my first Olympics when I was 20 years old. And so I just think of the whole journey, and each Olympics has been such a different part of my life. I think ultimately the gold medal in Tokyo, I mean, that was like the most beautiful moment of my career. And already what it's meant to so many people in Bermuda, I feel like that's my legacy, and that's super meaningful. And I just hope all young athletes can draw inspiration from that and belief that they can go chase their big goals.
Even after 30 years of triathlons on multiple continents, Flora is still chasing the biggest goals in the world.
My name is Jakimo Gardner. Been at One Communications now for 6 years. I am the captain and owner of Gombe Warriors Troop. Gombe Warriors are different, say, by the approach that we take. I do not teach character when it comes to that. I want them to have their own character, I want them to have their own styles, their own flair. Outside of being their captain, their teacher in Gombe, I want to be able to help them in life.
And when you do retire, ultimately, where will home be? Do
I
you
don't
think
know.
about that sometimes?
When I retire, I would love to spend more time in Bermuda. That's definitely a goal. But yeah, where exactly I'll end up, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I'm married a South African. Spends a big chunk of my life here training in Boulder, but then being from Bermuda. So drawn to all 3 places, and I don't know. We'll see what happens when I retire.
A conversation with Dame Flora about retirement, about legacy, feels premature, especially as she trains hard for another Olympics. But no matter what happens in Paris, gold in Tokyo is the opening salvo of the Dame Flora Duffy legacy.
I think it was two years ago. A friend of mine gifted his son the Guinness Book of World Records for Christmas, and they were paging through it Christmas Day, and then boom, suddenly I appear, because it was the gold medal for the smallest country. And I thought, wow, I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records? Because I used to get that book for Christmas when I was a kid, everyone does, right? And I'm like, I'm in it? This is crazy. Crazy.
Decades before she had a British title,
When my parents had me, they never thought, oh, well, one day we'll go with Flora to Buckingham Palace. It's just what?
her title in Bermuda was Iron Kid. And the Iron Kid Triathlon, still an island fixture today, is perhaps more a part of her legacy than any honor from the British Empire. Do you see yourself in some of those kids?
I do, yeah. When I was there last year for the Iron Kids race, it was kind of wow, this was me a lot of years ago. And then after the race, I agreed to sign their medals, and I had a few little bit of memorabilia pieces, and they all came up to me. I don't know, there was hundreds of kids, and they were so excited. And you could just see it was making their day. And so, yeah, I just really hope it serves as an inspiration for all the little kids.
Now, as awesome as those things are, this is probably the party favorite, no?
Yes, it's very cool. Especially, yeah, as a Bermudian growing up, and I mean, this is everywhere. And Gosling's is very iconic, so to have my own rum, Flora Gold, is very special.
Rum isn't necessarily part of Flora's legacy, but Gosling's, the revered Bermuda rum maker, has funneled more than $30,000 of Flora Gold proceeds into the Flora Fund. It's Flora's charity. I guess that's another piece of potentially your legacy. What do you want the fund to accomplish?
It's been really awesome to help so many young Bermudian athletes. And I think, yeah, for me, that's a huge part of my legacy, that I can focus on more post-racing when I have a bit more time. At the moment, it's helping as many young athletes in Bermuda chase their dreams, whether that's to go to a track meet abroad and they need help for that exposure, or to go to a swim meet, or, I mean, we've helped a gymnast. And so, yeah, just trying to encourage as many young Bermudians to stay in sport and open whatever doors that opens.
Around 20% of Flora Fund grants go to triathletes. Since 2018, about 50 young Bermudian athletes received financial help, slightly more girls than boys. Gosling's is topping future bottles of Flora Gold with a gold wax, a show of respect to Bermuda's only golden Olympian, meant to forever seal the island's most accomplished Olympic athlete with its most iconic international brand. Have you made a cocktail yourself with it? Like, what do you do with it? What do you like to have?
I haven't made a cocktail myself with it, but I have gone to some of their events where they make cocktails with it, and it's very nice. So I need to learn. But yeah, at the moment I'm not really into drinking cocktails.
No, I can understand that.
But yes, after Paris, regardless of what happens, there will be definitely some cocktails made and enjoyed with the Flora Gold for sure. My neighbors don't really know like who I am or anything, but they all found out after Tokyo, and this is like one of the main walking paths. So I'd be like sitting out here and they'd be like, "Hey champ,
That's so cool.
Hey Flora, well done, awesome." And I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, how do you know me?" But it was, yeah, it's really cool.
You know, it's so interesting
Yeah.
to hear you say that, because I know when I look at your career, you've had a lot of success. But until you win the gold medal, there's kind of like another level to everything.
It's totally another level, like beyond anything that I've won before. And I don't know why. I guess that's because, I don't know, everyone tunes into the Olympics because it's just such an iconic brand and moment in the summer every 4 years. And so yeah, like the reach that it has is like way bigger than anything else that I've won, any world titles or Commonwealth gold. Yeah, which is like kind of, yeah, it's really crazy.
You know, I'm remembering for the first time too that after you won in Tokyo, some of my friends who know I'm from Bermuda would say, "Oh, I saw on TV that a woman from Bermuda won in triathlon."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I know her." I could send them a picture. They thought it was the coolest thing that
Yeah.
I knew you because you won a gold.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. See,
So,
it's
yeah,
just,
it's the same way.
like by association even. It's just, yeah, it's amazing like that. Olympics.
And I get it. I get it. Why Boulder? I mean, it is nice.
Yep. Yeah, it's really beautiful here and easy to train, and yeah, nice roads, just lots of other really good athletes, which is nice to train with, so you're not doing it all solo. And I think it's hard enough, the amount of training we do, so to be in a location that makes it all easy and simple really is just like invaluable.
And when you do retire, ultimately, where will home be?
I don't
think about
know.
that sometimes?
When I retire, I would love to spend more time in Bermuda. Like that's definitely a goal. But yeah, where exactly I'll end up, I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I'm married a South African, spends a big chunk of my life here training in Boulder, but then being from Bermuda. So drawn to all three places, and I don't know. We'll see what happens when I retire.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Burn News, for your coverage of the Paris Olympics and our Bermudian athletes. Butterfield and Vallis is proud to be partnering and sponsoring this coverage. All the very best to our athletes.
All right.
Okay, the moment.
Start with this one.
Yeah.
Think.
Okay.
It comes with its own little
Yeah, it comes with,
coffin.
yeah, it's a really nice box, and it also, yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Look at that.
I know. That's pretty heavy. But there you go.
Oh my goodness, it's very heavy.
Yeah.
How heavy is it?
I haven't weighed it actually,
I mean, that's
but
gotta
it's
be 4 or
sizable.
5
Yeah,
pounds.
I know. They put it on you and you're like, whoa. So it's like I see the pictures of like Phelps with like 7 or more on, and I'm like, wow, that's heavy.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Do you ever find yourself just taking it out to look at?
No, not really. No.
I imagine I would if I had one
Yeah.
of these.
I mean, after I won, it came with me everywhere, and you know, then I saw it a lot, and I was around. But I think now, I don't know. It just seems a bit strange, I guess, to like pull out my gold medal and just look at it and be like, oh,
Yeah. Maybe if I actually had one, I would feel the same way.
But it's nice. I mean, that's been the most interesting thing about this is everyone wants to see it, which I didn't really think about. Like I've won medals at Commonwealth Games, and like those are no one's really ever asked to see those. But like the gold medal, like if I haven't seen a friend in a couple years and they come to visit, they're like, "Oh, can I please see your medal?" Wow. Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." And like the reaction of people has been really special. Like some people get like goosebumps or shake or just like visibly are like blown away. Like wow, like look at it.
Wow. All right, and then the DBE.
Yep.
Dame Flora.
Yes, I know. I always forget that. But yeah, this was quite a cool moment, getting this presented at Buckingham Palace at the end of 2022. So yeah, also, well, quite a thing.
It's got to be one of those things that's just beyond whatever your wildest imagination would allow you to dream.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I think it's kind of like my parents came with me to do this, and you think, well, how many... when my parents had me, when I was growing up, they never thought, oh, well, one day we'll go with Flora to Buckingham Palace. Like, it's just like, what? Like, this is so weird. So no, it's pretty cool. But I mean, again, not something that day to day I wear or use, but it is pretty special.
Now, as awesome as those things are, this is probably the party favorite. No?
Yes, it's very cool. Especially, as a Bermudian growing up, and I mean, this is everywhere. And Gosling's is very iconic. So to be, have my own rum, Flora Gold, is very special and very cool.
Have you made a cocktail yourself with it? Like, what do you do with it? What do you like to have?
I haven't made a cocktail myself with it, but I have gone to some of their events where they make cocktails with it, and it's very nice. So I need to learn. But yeah, at the moment I'm not really into drinking cocktails.
No, I can understand that.
But yes, after Paris, regardless of what happens, there will be definitely some cocktails made and enjoyed with the Flora Gold for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.